Mr. Walter Trout, hello.
Hello.
First of all, we have to go back to 2016, back to Blue Spear. You still remember our first interview? It was at Blue Spear.
I remember playing at the festival,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
It's 9 years ago, I understand. But
At my age, I have a hard time remembering 9 days ago.
yeah,
So, you know.
I must ask you, how are you? Because, like you
Doing
say,
great.
you're
A
feeling
little
great.
bit of jet lag. I played in New Orleans just a few days ago, so I'm still kind of like this, you know.
You have left your difficult period behind you, the problems with your.
Oh yeah, I'm physically doing great.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
very healthy.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
A good man, a good guitar player. He will be on stage this night at the MOULIN Blues. Do you still have fun by being a musician?
Of course, or I wouldn't do it. Of course, it's got to be fun. Yeah.
You are more than 50 years on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have 70 years on your CV, on your curriculum vitae, and you have more than 30 albums.
Yeah.
You played with a lot of big names. I name a few, Kennedy, John Mayall, but you can add, I think, more than these names.
Yeah.
Who or what is still missing in your career?
Nothing I can think of.
No.
You know, I've been at it now for, like you said, I think 56 years.
56
And,
years.
I can't think of anything. It's
Almost
missing.
7 decennia. That's just-
I have nothing right now but gratitude that I'm alive. I have a great wife. I have a great family. I have a wonderful career. Nothing missing.
There are no open items in the so-called bucket list. No. No. You take what comes.
I mean,
think.
I'd love to get up and play a song with the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
You know, I'd like, but you know, it's not missing.
It's not missing though.
I can die without doing that, and I'll still be a happy guy. You know.
What is the secret behind your drive that you're always trying to be 100% going on and doing your job? What is your drive?
It's a deep love of what I do, and a deep gratitude that I get to do it.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, all I wanted to do was be a musician. All my friends, I'm a little kid, and they're all talking about playing football and playing baseball and doing all this, and I'm like, I want to play music.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, from the time I was a little guy. You know.
But you didn't start with the guitar.
I started with the trumpet.
Trumpet, yes. I read something
But I
about
started the guitar at age 10, so I mean, you know.
it at age 10. But you can also play the harmonica.
I actually played the harmonica before the guitar.
Before the guitar,
Yes,
that's
I
correct.
did.
Yeah. Your last album, Broken, it's 2000 last year. Not.
Yeah, last year.
It's not your latest, but not your last album, I think.
I just finished a new one.
A new one.
Yeah, I finished number 32. I finished it on, I did the last, let me see, I went in on the 19th of March. And added some vocals, some harmonies. I thought the record was done.
You have
my birthday was March the 6th, and I did a whole Facebook post that I just finished this new album, and the more I listen to it, I got to go put a harmony on that song. And so on the 19th of March, I did the last of it, and I think it's a good record.
You have already a name for the new records? No. No.
Let the Pro Vogue will announce it. Yeah, they'll announce it.
Can you tell us something about your last Broken? For me, it's a dark album. Is that
These are
correct?
dark days.
Yes.
If you thought Broken was dark,
all
when you
of
hear
us
the
are
new
broken.
one, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my Broken, I mean, you could say all of us are, but I was thinking when I wrote it about my years when I was a very young man, and I spent a year, almost 2 years as a heroin addict, and I lived on the streets. And at least 1 year, I didn't even touch the guitar. All I did was run around Los Angeles trying to get high. And I knew I was lost, and I knew I was broken, and I knew I had turned my back on the gift I had been given of music. And that's what I was writing about. But then I wrote about 4 lines of lyric, and I got caught up in these memories, and I got fucked up from it all. So I called my wife, who is an award-winning songwriter herself, and she wrote the rest of the lyrics for me. So she's got 80% of that song lyrically, and she wrote it perfectly. Her lyrics she wrote are incredible. And she wrote, I think, 4 on the new album with me.
But all more than one song, Broken, Bleed, I Have Enough, Heaven or Hell, they are all very bitter, very, for me, very heavy.
Heavy days.
Heavy days.
We have fucking Adolf Hitler in the White House. It's heavy, you know.
Yes. I've asked you, is your list complete as an artist?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, do you have more plans that you want to do in the next months and the next years? No.
Well, tomorrow I fly to England. I do 6 cities.
6.
Then I fly back to California and I do 4 shows in California. After that, I come back to Europe and I do a bunch of shows around Europe in July. Then I go back and I tour America through September. And then October and November, I come back to Europe and I tour through the end of November. So I'm a hard-working guy.
You don't need time for yourself to sit down and think about things or.
If I think about things too much, I'm ready to, to do what? I'd rather not think about them, and I'd rather put it into music, because it is, like what's going on in my country is
not good.
It's beyond not good. It's frightening. It's scary. I have a house in Denmark, so I have an escape plan.
Escape room.
But a lot of my friends don't. And I can't imagine what's going to happen over there.
Okay. Can you tell us something about the show tonight? Who will be with you on stage?
I'll have Richard T. Bear on keyboard. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's out there eating breakfast right now. He was with Crosby, Stills and Nash, and he played with Stephen Stills, and he makes records on his own. He's written a lot of hit songs. I'll have my longtime drummer, Mike Lazier, has been with me now, I think, 17 years, and is on my last, 14 albums or something like that. And I'll have one of the world's great bass players, John Avila, who's been with Neil Young and Bob Dylan, and Joe Satriani, and Steve Vai, and Willie Nelson. And he's, do you remember years ago, I had a keyboard player named Sammy Avila?
Yes.
This is Sammy's younger brother. So Sammy's kid played bass with me for 2 years, and now Sammy's brother is playing bass with me. When you need a musician, you call up the Avila family. And Sammy's son, who played bass with me, is now the guitar player with a guy named Sugar Ray Rayford. He's his guitar player. So if you need a musician, you call up the Avila family. And John, the bass player, his daughter is an incredible jazz singer. Hey, I need a and their other son, Sammy's other son, is the drummer with a band called Andy Frasco, who are a big jam band, very famous jam band.
Great. And what will be on the set list?
Some songs off of Broken. I'll do a little tribute to John Mayall, which I got to do. He was my father in many ways. I'm going to give each guy in the band their own little section. We'll tell John Avila, go ahead, you got it, and then watch him go. Same, you know, it's a good show. It's very tight, but we've been on the tour. We just finished 7 weeks in America, and we finished 1 week ago, I think, or less than that, at the New Orleans Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Biggest festival in America, really. Great festival. We were there with Pearl Jam and a bunch of others I can't remember. Last time we played there in New Orleans, we opened for Aerosmith, so
Aerosmith.
it's a big gig.
All the heavy guys. Mr. Trout, what was the best advice you got as a musician? And you cannot
Probably get off of alcohol and drugs. And I've been sober now for 38 years.
38 years.
No booze, no pot, no alcohol, none of that shit. Yeah. But before that, as I said, I spent 2 years as a heroin addict. I didn't even play the guitar. I was fucked up.
Somewhere.
So my best advice came to me from John Mayall, from Carlos Santana, who spent 3 days with me and helped me get sober. And also Richie Hayward, who is the drummer in Little Feat, one of my best friends. He helped me get sober. But that's the best advice I ever got, is you don't have to be high to play this music. As a matter of fact, you play it better when you're not high. I had there's this romanticized image of the hard-living blues man. I'm gonna be all fucked up and I'm gonna die young and I gotta be all crazy. It's bullshit. And it was John Mayall who told me. He said, Walter, that's bullshit. You can have a family, you can have a life, you can have good things in life and still play this music, you know?
Great. I have a last question, Mr. Trout.
Yes.
Do you think that you became another person by being a musician?
I think I became
different-
the person that I was put here to be. When I had my liver transplant,
Yes.
and I was in the hospital for 8 months, and I had brain damage, and I lost the ability to play. I didn't know how to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And they sent me home finally, and my son John, who's here tonight, gonna play with me, he walked in and handed me a Stratocaster, big loving smile, and he said, here you go. And I looked at it and went, I don't know what to do with this thing. And I said to my wife and kids, I'll have to do something else now. I'll find something else to do. And they said to me, I'll never forget it, they said, you don't find anything else to do. They said, you were put here to play.
Yeah.
And then Marie says to me, when you were 10 years old and you were a trumpet player and your brother, my brother was 15 and he came home with a guitar and he just set it in the corner and I grabbed it and I taught myself. We didn't have an internet. You couldn't go on the internet and learn how. I just picked it up and taught she goes, you were 10, you taught yourself.
Yeah.
She goes, well, I have to do that again. So that's what I did. And I worked on it about 1.5 years every day and it came back. And that was 11 years ago. And I just finished, I've done 8 albums now in that 11 years. Because I'm driven. I want to write songs, I want to play, I want to contribute, I want to be an artist.
Okay, this is the last one. How do you want to be remembered?
Just as a serious musician, artist who tried to contribute something to the world. Also, I'm serious about wanting to make the best music I can do, but I also don't take myself that seriously. I'm very willing to get up on the stage and make goofy faces at people and try to make them laugh. You know, I'm not this very serious, but fuck that. No, let's enjoy our lives. Let's have fun. Sense of humor is very important.
Okay, That were my questions. We thank you for the roost time that we got today,
All right.
and we are sure that you're going to have a great show tonight. And
You gonna be there?
we will be on the first
Well,
row.
now that I know that you're there, I better play good. All right, man.
Thank you, Mr.
All right,
Trout.
thank you.
Hope to see you again the third time.
Yeah, I hope we get back to Belgium.
I think that we are the same age. You're from